guys, welcome back to a new weekly outlook video. Hope you all had an amazing trading month in September, and it's a new month now, so it's October, so let's make the most of the last 2 months of this year. So I'm going to go through the usual EU, GU, US30, gold, and pound yen, I guess. Not too sure because no one's really suggested anything, so I'm just going to go through the main ones that people usually ask me for. But in the meantime, let's start with the 1 hour. 1 hour, this is my 1 hour chart, so you can see that I have the 1 hour supply from this last daily breakout structure, I believe it was, and then with some inducement here. This was the 1 hour supply that I was looking at. This is the one that caused the break of structure. As you can see, that's when momentum started pushing in, but you can see that it was broken through, so it's invalidated. So now I have this level up here with some nice inducement. You can see that on Friday we didn't even sweep this high. If we swept this high, I would be inclined to take sells from here, but in the meantime you can see that price is bullish. If I just do, this was the last leg. This was the leg, and then I had the sell to buy wicks from there, which reacted from it, which was in discount pricing, and at the moment this is the leg that we're in. As you can see, we've had this 1 hour wick that we had some nice buys from. However, we can see that this is the bullish leg here, and then we pulled back, and then here we started to pull back here, and then we tried to push up higher for this high, and you can see we swept it, and then we've broken 1 hour structure, well, 1 hour internal structure to the downside, so we may see a reaction from here to the downside because we are still within this supply, the whole supply range. So yeah, I want to see how we react from this area before, looking for any buys or sells. But if price does come back into here, I'm not going to be interested in looking for longs, because if price wanted to continue going higher, it wouldn't need to come back into these lower demand levels. So from there, these can be probably reaction levels for flips, and that I would look at to continue sells. At the moment, 15-minute, we have the 15-minute range here. This is caused by news, so we've had a tap into this 1 hour wick, which is also the 15-minute, had a sweep, and then had another sweep due to news, and then you can see that we've continued higher at the moment. This is the 15-minute demand level, the last 15-minute demand level, because we broke structure here, but this is all internal, and you can see we've had a reaction from it, but at the moment we haven't broken this high. So I want to see this high get broken, and possibly a reaction from this 1 hour supply, or if price will break it and continue into this level here, up here, for possibly sells. But there's nothing much going on at the moment, except that on the 1 hour we are bullish and could possibly turn bearish to continue the overall bearish structure. So we have this low and then this low to be taken. So then if I go on the 5-minute, there's this level, because we've had the change of character here, and then at the moment we've all in this range, so then there's liquidity to be targeted in the long term, which is here. So yeah, so we want to see what price does on Monday. And then moving on to GU, I haven't been on GU since when I last did my outlook. So if I go on the daily, you can see that price really pushed down, and then this was the last 4 hour protected high. But on the daily, there's nothing reacted. It's reacted to nothing on the left. As you can see, we are the lowest that's it's ever been. So on the daily, let's get back on the daily. We've had this daily break of structure to the downside. And then here we've had, let me just remove this quickly. So here we've had this daily break of structure. It's kind of like a mini break of structure, because it's not really formed any structure like this, like a pullback. and then a reaction and a pullback. But we can still class that as a pullback for the time being. But as you can see, we've had this aggressive push to downside with a candle wick, and then, you know, we can see we try to keep pushing lower, but we haven't. But for the time being, this would be my leg, my 1 hour leg. I meant my daily leg, sorry. And then on the 4 hour, I would do, let's see, 4 hour, this would be the extreme, because you can see the bearishness came within from this extreme supply. However, it's nothing really clear at the moment, because you can see on the 4 hour we've internally broken to the upside. So we have this 4 hour flip zone here, which is quite far away. Let's see. Oh wow, it's 360 pips. Okay, you can definitely get some sells back into this area, or we can continue higher. So if I go on to 1 hour, let's see what we can see. This is still my flip level that I would look at to buy from, but you know, I don't really trade GU. So we've had the sweep here. We are in premium pricing for sells, so we can possibly do this and then see if we can get some sells within. We have this range here, so price could react from here instead of this extreme. So if you just mark this here, yeah, I mean, we could possibly react from there. But for now, it is heavily bearish, and then this is just one little change of character, but I don't see anything it's reacting from specifically. Maybe from this little range here, because this is the last buy candle before this aggressive move to the downside, which was on the 23rd of September. And you can see price perfectly reacted to this 1 hour supply range. If I just refine it down, yeah, it's just tapped into this 1 hour really nicely. And then you can see we've had a 1 hour shift. So we could possibly see some downside moves, because, you know, at the moment, pound is weak and 4 hour and everything is bearish. So we want to continue the bearishness until here, or this range, I would say. So on the 1 hour, like I said, we are internally bullish at the moment, but don't be fooled, because unless we break proper structure, then we are still bearish, in my opinion. And then on the 15-minute, we have this refined. Oops, 15. Oh, not seconds. 15 min. And then 1 hour here, and then you can see that internally 15-minute demand zones are being respected. And then we've had another break of structure here. For this one, I would say this, I believe, because there's an inside bar. So this is what it's reacting from now. I mean, it's reacting from this here as well. That caused this demand failure. And then this has been my most recent one. So if we break this structure here, then I'll look for here, demand respect, until demand fails, then we can, you know, start to look for shorts. Well, that's my outlook for this week, I think. Yeah, because there's not much going on. It's just heavily bearish, kind of. So it's been bearish since Wednesday, but that's really mental. 300 pips. The pip count is very, 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 very massive. But, you know, risk management and all that. Okay, US30. US30, let's start on the daily. As you can see, oh gosh. Let's see what's happening. Yeah. So this is all internal. So you can see overall we are bearish, and I'm sad it did not come back into my area. My daily refined. It came back into daily daily range, and then it swept this high as far as I can see. Yeah, so it swept the liquidity from these highs, and and then started going down. So yeah, I was looking at this level, and then as you can see, it spiked this level. I think there's a 4-hour level, and then now we'll continue going down. So now we've had a new break of structure to the downside. Oh gosh, wrong thing. Now that we've had a break to the downside, the current leg, I would say, would be from this, because you can see this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 day pullback, and this is something that we could look at. Obviously you want to trade within the premium zones. We have the daily here. I'm a daily extreme, and then this is some wicks on the lower time frame, which I'm going to refine down in a minute. But yeah, we've had a break of structure to the downside. As you can see, we are looking like we're going to continue lower, but obviously we need some pullback, but the trend is bearish. So on the 4-hour, you can see the break of structure here. We've technically mitigated this. So last area would be this wick here, to be honest. Where are we? Just in the premium zone. Because you can see we've mitigated this area, and then this is where it broke structure. But at the moment you can see we are bearish. So we want to look for sell. So this is the current 4-hour leg that we can be trading from. So we pulled back. So this is the leg actually. It's a really tiny leg. But if you go on the 1 hour, let's see. Let me just delete this daily premium discount. So yeah, this is the daily, this is the 1 hour leg that we can trade from. As you can see, this is where it caused this break of structure. To the downside, it's quite wicky here, so I hope we can find something in the 15. So we can see we can have this 15 extreme, and then this, which is just in the middle of the EQ, may not hold, but you can see that this is the range, and then it caused the actual break. So I think we could still potentially go lower, because we have some equal highs here, so it could be within these ranges there. But let's do the 15 minutes because they're better. Yes, I would say this area to look for sells, and then this if it does come back for more sells, because this is in the right bang on in the middle of the premium discount, so it may not hold. And then obviously we're in this bearish leg. So US30, I'm bearish, and then we'll see what happens next week when I come back to do my outlook, because we've had this shift to the downside, and then a sweep of the high to induce early buyers, and then you can see that we just melted through this. So this is like the 1 hour flip zone, and this is the 1 hour extreme. So if I mark it on for you, demand, reaction, and then this is the area that caused the break. But the 15-minute on here, I would say here, because it's been mitigated already. So I would say this is the 15-minute extreme of this leg. So these are my 3 areas. The top 2 are obviously higher probability, but this can still be playable. So yeah, because we have the sweep here and then the break of structure. So those are my 15-minute areas. And then I'll do gold. I don't think I'm going to do pound yen, to be honest, but we'll see. Okay, on gold, if I go on the daily, is this what I use? I don't think this is the one I used last time. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Oh, haven't been on for like 2 weeks, and look, the daily target has been hit. So, as you can see, it didn't quite go back to my refined areas, which is fine. But this is the daily target. Well, not target anymore because we broke structure. At the moment, this would be, because this is like a range, and then went out, so we could see some prices. We can see price go lower, but it's highly unlikely because this is now the daily protected high, and then this is the target. This is my daily target, and then this is the current leg that we can trade from, because this is where the pullback happened, and this is the breaker structure that caused it. But yeah, this is the whole daily range, but this is the whole daily leg. So you can see, let's go on the 4 hour. 4 hour, we can see, yeah, massive ranges. And you can see we've had this really shift, like this bullish push to the upside. Could trick people into buying from this area, but obviously we want to see how price would react if it does come back into those areas. But for the time being, we can see this daily, which is bang on in the middle again, like US30. But nothing really on the 4 hour, because we can see that it's reacting to something now, so we could see, you know, lower prices. But if you go on the 1 hour, 1 hour has started to slow down as well. Here we've had a sweep of the high and then the low, so possibly coming back into this 1 hour, I would say. To target this low as a first target, and then this, I would look at this demand to see if it does have anything, have any reaction. But if you look here, we haven't exactly tapped from this 1 hour leg. We haven't tapped back into the premium. So I'm at discount pricing for buys, so we could come back into here. That's why this is a good area as a first target for sells. And then we have this 1 hour flip level, and of course the 1 hour extreme, which doesn't need to come back into, but for this 1 hour leg we have 3 different areas. So obviously this one could cause a reaction and then come back lower, so this is more high probable. But this doesn't need to always come back to down there. So yeah, let's see if we have any reaction from there. And then on the 15-minute, we are bearish at the moment. So we want to see price come back up into it, or as you can see, it's reacted from this 15 at the moment. So price could continue from this area here that has been tapped into late New York, but highly unlikely. I think it's gonna violate that area. But for the time being, we could also do this as the first target. But you can see this really extreme 15-minute has inducement for it as well. So we could see some lower prices for gold perhaps. And then, shall I just do it? JPY. Okay, let's see. Was I selling or buying? Can't even remember for this. Okay. So yeah, price was bullish, as you can see. And now we've swept all that liquidity to the downside. Have we swept this low? Yeah. we've swept this low. That's actually mental. But because pound is crazy at the moment. Okay. So let's start again on the daily. Daily, this is the high. Oh, this high was wicked and we didn't have a candle close. And then we've had a shift on the daily to the downside. And then the daily supply, which swept the previous high on the daily. So we probably had lower time frame reactions. I can see that we've had a reaction here and then it came back into it. We'll investigate that in a second. So yeah, we have the change of character here, and then now we've had the break of structure here, because if you see this wicked, this was the low, try to push higher but failed, and then swept this high and then broke. But you can see that this has caused a wick reaction. It's not really a candle close to the downside, so I believe it just swept all that liquidity, all those buy orders and buy stop losses, and then now it's going to continue higher. But we could also see a reaction on the lower time frame. So let's go on the 4 hour quickly. 4 hour, this is pretty due to news, but you can see that we've had a break of structure here with no candle close, and then price came back. This is pretty due to news. Came back into this area. And then just melted. So at the moment, the next logical area for supply would be here, because it's quite massive. Let me see on the 1 hour what it is. Oh yeah, it's a 1 hour candle. Beautiful. Yeah, so this is the 1 hour. But internally we have turned bullish, so we want to see this high get taken, and this supply getting violated if we want to continue looking for buys. But from the top for now, this is the actual leg, and then we could see some prices within this area, this area as the extreme, and then possibly this area, but that's right in the middle. But it could also react from there. And then as you can see on the 1 hour, we've had a sweep to the upside, and now we've come to the downside. We've changed character to the downside with momentum, but we could be coming into these areas before looking for higher pricing. But on Monday, let's see if we do get reaction, because we are reacting from it right now, because it may be too late to get into positions. But let's see the refine 15 if we can get something. It's tapped into already, yeah. So at the moment, 15-minute is still in control, because you can see this is the 15-minute break, and then this is the 15-minute low. So if we do see a break, this is the demand, 15-minute demand respect. This is the demand currently, because I can't see anything on the lower time frame, because we've had a reaction to this, but it's not really a reaction. But yeah, so this is my most recent demand level, the extreme. So unless price puts in a new high, then this would be my new demand, and if that fails, then I would look for sells into either here, or start targeting here, and here for sells. So yeah, don't really trade GJ, so I'm not sure what I'd be looking for. but possibly buys, because everything's bullish at the moment internally. Until we break this high, then I would look for proper longs. But in the meantime, sells all the way down into here to see if we get reaction from there, and then we can look for how it reacts from these areas. So hopefully you take value from these pairs if you do trade them, and let's see how next week actually goes, because it's a new month. So let's get it. Let me just add this to my trading view for next time. Okay, so hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will try to put out another video this week, like a recap. Or if you want other videos, just comment down the suggestions below and then I will think about it. Yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.